kindly watch the part 1 of this video for better understanding. Frontier Healthcare, which the government awarded the airport COVID screening, operates offshore accounts through which payments were received to avoid taxations. Although Ghana have specialized institutions that are rated far higher than Frontier Healthcare, such as Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research of the University of Ghana, Korolbu Teaching Hospital, and many others who were already at the forefront helping to contain the COVID-19 condition. Let's ask ourselves what motivated the government to sign on a foreign company if not to divert the income? The company then employed Ghanaian professionals, mostly from Rich Hospital, to take the risk for them. Ghanaians took the risk and Nigerian taskmasters, who were not health professionals, were the supervisors. The arrangement represented the enslavement of our health professionals in their own country. It was insulting, humiliating, and repugnant. Due to what Nana and Bawumia stood to gain, our respected professionals were slighted by Nigerian lay people. Under the terms of the contract, the Ghana government received approximately 10% of the revenue, while Frontier Healthcare Limited bagged 90%. Why would a government consciously make such an arrangement to deny the country the resources that it needs so much? If we compare the NDC Wayom loot and share with this one, then the NDC scam was a kid's play. It is estimated that over $1 billion were deported from Ghana through this arrangement. Furthermore, the money was processed by a Nigerian bank. Ghana banks were deprived the opportunity to make profit from the crude extortions. Many Ghanaians who had a negative PCR certificates, which is far more accurate than the antigen test, were detained at the airport under crude conditions for several days because they could not pay the $150. Among them were pregnant women and nursing mothers. The people held at the airport included a 1-month baby and people recovering from surgery. Besides the huge foreign currency inflow into Ghana due to the airport screening, Ghana also received huge financial support from the donor communities. For example, 1. On April 2, 2020, Ghana received $100 million from the World Bank to assist the country in tackling the COVID-19 pandemic. 2. On November 10, 2020, the World Bank approved an additional of $130 million and also 3. Provided $232.5 million both from the International Development Association, IDA, for the Ghana COVID-19 Emergency Preparedness and Response Project. 4. Additionally, Japan's Trust Fund provided $1 million to Ghana. 5. On April 13, 2020, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, Executive Board approved the disbursement of $1 billion to be drawn under the Rapid Credit Facility. 6. On Friday, August 27, 2021, Ghana received additional $1 billion from the IMF, being its share of the new Special Drawing Rights (SDRs) allocation to boost the post-COVID economic recovery of member countries. Furthermore, in May 2023, the IMF approved a $3 billion extended credit facility arrangement for Ghana. This program is designed to support Ghana's post-COVID-19 program for economic growth, focusing on restoring macroeconomic stability, debt sustainability, and implementing wide-ranging reforms. I cannot list all the billions of aid that Ghana has received so far. However, despite all this foreign inflow, the Cedi continues to depreciate. Where is the money going to? Why is the economy still in shambles? It should be noted that $1 billion is a huge amount of money that could build a sizable modern city in Ghana. For example, Trasacco Estate, one of the most expensive estates in Ghana, was developed with $400 million. Furthermore, the Villaggio Vista condominium, which is the tallest building in Ghana, was developed with $125 million and features $2 million penthouse apartments. Thus just a portion of $1 billion could build both Trasacco Estate and the Villaggio Vista condominium. We should keep in mind that $1 billion is equal to 1,000 million dollars. The amount could also do a lot for Ghana, such as helping economic stabilization by addressing inflation, strengthening the currency, and reducing the fiscal deficit. The effect could help future generations and enhance the purchasing power of citizens. Despite the huge inflow of foreign currencies, the government still went ahead to press Ghanaians for more taxes. Parliament enacted the COVID-19 Health Recovery Levy, 2021, Act 1068, to impose a special levy on the supply of goods and services including imports. The purchasing power of the citizens was further reduced to enrich the political elites. As if these were not enough, the government placed the country on the experimental table of the IMF for further funds which will end up being looted anyway. The government is saying it cannot manage Ghana's GDP of $77.59 billion together with all the loans and aid. This could only be as a result of systematic corruption. Moreover, the Nana Addo administration has fully supported corrupt appointees. For example, Osefo Marfo was protected from prosecution when he paid money to foreign entities based on fake contracts. Do you remember the contract for sale scandal? The former PPA boss Mr. Ajanim Boteng Ajay formed a company TDL and used it to secure government contracts which he was in charge of approving. In the documentary, his TDL was ready to sell a contract worth Cedis sent 22.3 million to a non-existent entity that, a journalist, Manasseh Ajurowuni's team had made up. Suppliers and contractors interested in buying contracts from TDL had to register with the company by paying a non-refundable fee of 5,000, GH sent 5,000, Cedis. Investigations revealed that Mr. Ajay's accounts held over 14.8 million Cedis, which he could not explain how he earned it. This led to his suspension and subsequent dismissal from office in 2019 following the contracts for sale exposure. The irony is that, Mr. Ajay could still transfer his monies from bank accounts which the government agency had frozen and hide them from investigators. In 2023, the government was able to help him to have his case dismissed. Mr. Ajay, who was PPA boss under the Kufuor government, was sacked for his corrupt activities by then-President Kuffour. The big question is, why was such a person appointed by this administration? The obvious conclusion is that he was to help the Nana Addo team to amass wealth through extortions and corruption. How about Cecilia Abina Dapa, the ex-Minister of Sanitation and Water Resources who stashed over $1 million, €300 and several millions of Cedis in her bedroom? Someone might think this is an isolated case. But it confirms the open secret that many ministers and party people have sophisticated vaults in their homes where they keep their ill-gotten monies, though Cecilia was not that smart. Cecilia was able to use a whopping $42 million for the dredging of the Odo River, which continues to flood the city. Where did that money go? In fact, this government has been very brutal and heartless towards Ghanaians who trusted them to deliver. When there is an outcry, what the government pretends to be prosecuting the culprits. When the cry goes down, they let them go to enjoy the loot. The Cecilia issue shows the insecure nature of the Ghana coffers under the current government. The trend shows that, we are leaving a poor legacy for posterity. The current government has been even more brutal in their looting in respect to the COVID-19 situation. They took several millions of cedis from the national coffers under the pretext of acquiring logistics for the pandemic, but there were no proof that the items were bought. For example, the government claimed to have bought nose masks to the tune of 107 million cedis, 254 million cedis for the purchase of hand sanitizers and 197 million cedis for the purchase of tissue papers. While the monies were taken from Ghana's coffers, no receipts or proof of purchase were provided. On the COVID jab, the government of Ghana decided to pay $19 and $26 for each COVID jab, which was sold for $10 on the world market. This is because the Minister of Health decided to use an agency instead of purchasing it directly from the sales outlets. The arrangement did not just loot money from Ghana, but it placed Ghanaians into grave danger. This is because the COVID jabs require critical handling and a stern environmental temperature. A slight change in temperature can create health hazards for the recipients. The agent did not have any facility to procure COVID jabs, and Ghana does not have the ability to detect a change in the condition of a COVID vaccine. It should be noted that many EU countries have disposed of several vaccines vials due to changes in temperature. However, due to greed and the desire to exploit the pandemic situation, Ghanaians were placed at a risk. While I acknowledge there are many factors contributing to the depreciation of the Cedi, the main drivers of the decline have been systematic corruption and deportation of foreign currency meant to develop the country. If we do not act, Ghana will continue to be plundered and remain underdeveloped. I believe you can decide who to blame for the Cedi decline. Ghana can be better without corruption. Kindly join me in the fight against corruption. Say no to corruption. Let's unite against corrupt leaders for a better Ghana. Kindly share the video to create awareness. Subscribe and like it.